And we are live. What is going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sibz, West Coast, East Coast siblings, where we break down your favorite movies and TV shows. He's back. Superman's back. Superman and Lois is back on tonight on the CW. We just wrapped up episode 6. This is going to be a review, reaction, biggest takeaways all rolled into one video. So come on in, pile in. I got the chat open. We can talk about this. We can react to this episode. Let me know any questions or comments that you have on this episode. Really good. Man, it's easily the best show on the CW in my opinion. Right off the bat, and it's not just because of the budget and the graphics and all those things, but just the story is pretty grounded. It's pretty realistic. It balances some of because I was just talking to Sid about the Flash and how a lot of the story elements in the Flash are just very kumbaya, helping criminals reform their lives and stuff like this. And so in doing that, you lose a lot of the action. But this show does not hold back on the action. It doesn't skimp on the action. That scene where Superman gets shot with the kryptonite and his eyes go red, and even just that was like more action than I think we got almost in the entire episode of Flash. But let's dive into it. Before we get started, hit the subscribe button and click the bell so that you don't miss. So this episode sees Jordan dealing with his issues, his superpowers once again. They've laid dormant for a recap. If you haven't seen the show ever, be sure to check out. I've done the full series, the first 5 episodes. But basically, Jordan is still dealing with his powers that are emerging, learning how to control them. He's on the football team, and as we remember, this was his outlet to be able to have something that he felt important with. Even his brother had said, that John was saying that this was the first time that he had felt that Jordan had ever been happy, happy since ever, I think is what he said. And so during this, he's having these issues where has the laser vision that's about to kill anybody at any given time, and it tends to be triggered by sound. So that's a pretty interesting thing that we have to keep an eye on. It doesn't seem to be anybody that's particularly doing it. It doesn't seem to be anyone that's manipulating it. It just seems to be natural sounds or just things around him. And what this reminds me of is actually in the Man of Steel movie. In that movie, we remember Superman saying, "The world's too big, Mom," and she says, "So make it smaller," or something to that effect. I'm just grabbing the description for the episode just because I don't want to miss the fact that Lex Luthor presents himself as Marcus something to Lois Lane. So this also happens in the episode. He had been gone for a while, and we were wondering when or if he'd be coming back. We know he was repairing the suit. So the fact that he's showing his face now in Smallville must mean that he's near ready to have the suit ready to go to fight Clark, to fight Superman. Don't forget, guys, he's from another universe. He's from another world in which Superman went rogue. He went bad. And Lex was actually the good guy. And he was also married to, or at least seeing, I think, Lois Lane. And so that's why he kind of goes to her first. It's somebody that he trusts. But, Superman's not going to have that. He can't be going after his girl. Even if it was your girl in another world, it ain't the same thing. So he is going after the XK, the X-Kryptonite. And for those of you who don't know, and it's explained in the episode, but in the comic books, X-Kryptonite is the purest form of kryptonite, and it's able to give people the powers of Superman, but it's for a temporary amount of time. Temporary means for a limited amount of time. So that's what he's after. And remember, they're in the Schuster mine, so they end up getting down there. They're owned by Morgan Edge, who buys the exclusive rights to use those mines, and he's using it, of course, to get the yellow kryptonite and to use it to create super-powered people. And I would assume there's only one reason why you'd be amassing an army of Supermen and women is to kill Superman, or to have the most dominant army in the world, and in doing so, you would be able to control Superman. I mean, many times we've seen Superman go toe-to-toe with other Kryptonians, but you could not imagine an army of Kryptonians. It probably would be just a tad too much for Superman to deal with. If we're talking about several hundred to 1,000 Kryptonians, they definitely would dominate the world. And so that's what I'm thinking Edge's plan is right now. But we have to remember, at the end of the episode, Lois finds him out. And, he must have known this was going to happen. I mean, Lois, in almost every interpretation in the multiverse, is one of the greatest reporters that there is. And so she starts to smell a rat because, he's saying he used to work for Daily Bugle or Daily Planet. Daily Bugle. What are we in, Marvel? Goodness gracious, that's almost unforgivable. The Daily Planet, and he quits and ends up pursuing journalism. And she's like, this doesn't sound right. And again, it's like, why would you come to Smallville? Smallville, Kansas. All these villains and people, heroes and the like, seem to be attracted to this small town. Even Lois's father, like wherever Superman goes, even though not everyone knows his identity, trouble tends to follow. So that's what's happening now. And then we have Jordan's brother, Jonathan Kent, getting his arm straight up murked. Now, this is super important, guys, because what this possibly means is that Jonathan has his dormant powers that are starting to emerge. Let me check out the comment, and be sure to hit me in the comments. Let me see. Let me grab that live chat. Lois really said to Luthor, "Stop the cap." I'm not sure what you meant there. I mean, Lois did find out what Luthor was up to, for the most part, knowing that it was fishy, but she said to be continued because obviously Jordan had gotten hurt. But she was having him stop whatever he was doing. Lex saw that that down in the Schuster mines, Edge had, these Kryptonians working down there, I guess on guard to fight and kill any intruders. And so I'm surprised they even made it out of there with their lives, dealing with people with the power levels of superheroes. But again, one of the biggest things from this episode is the fact that Jonathan definitely has some dormant powers there. He was always touted as the one who was supposed to have powers, but then Jordan's, he had an early growth spurt, and now he's got the laser vision and the super strength, but it doesn't mean Jonathan is without powers, and we're starting to see those develop now. Jordan's hit would have obliterated his hand if he were a normal human, and I would imagine that despite his hand being all jacked up now, he's going to heal probably by the next episode or in a couple of days, and that's going to have Clark saying, okay, well, wait, your hand shouldn't have healed that quickly. Now, speaking of the kids, we have Sarah and Tag. Tag is back, as we saw in the last episode, where he was attacking Jordan and stuff like that. Now, he's been on the run. He has super shaky powers. We'll call it that. But it turns into super speed by the end of the episode. He's saying he can run really fast. We see a whole pile of burnt out shoes that he has when he takes Sarah to Metropolis. This is Superman's stomping grounds. And one thing that's really interesting is that the city must be aware that he's been gone for a while. So the fact that, people could even say in Metropolis up in the sky, they must think Superman maybe is back. But Tag is somebody who is, he has these powers, and Superman kind of just dropped him off at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, basically. And he was abused, according to his story, he wasn't treated right. And so, that begs the question, is it just going to happen again? And so then Superman says, no, I promise. We're going to get you better, and I'll make sure that you're safe, and you'll get all the answers you want, but you need to come with me quickly. And Tag doesn't listen, and so they get shot up by the military. Excuse me. And so this is a weird thing because it's like Superman's point. He was talking to the captain, Captain Lane, and talking about how why would your plan be to subdue Tag by shooting up the place? It doesn't make much sense, and especially, you got to be out of your depth when Superman is sitting there himself in the situation. He's obviously got it under control. He can handle it much more than the military at the time. I would imagine that anywhere Superman is, besides maybe next to the president, he probably has jurisdiction. If he's telling you to stand down, you need to listen. And then one dude has the idea to shoot Superman with kryptonite, and that does little more than pee him off. And so it doesn't make sense why he would be doing that. But again, remember, they're part of the Hell and Back 4377 or 7734, no matter depending on the way that you flip it. General Lane is working with Lex Luthor, or at least tied with him, believing that Superman is going to go rogue, believing that Superman's going to go bad, and they'll need to stop him. Maybe they know something that we don't. All we know is that Lex is from an entirely other world. So he's taking what he thinks of Clark and of the Clark of his Earth, and he's projecting that onto the Clark of our world. And so it doesn't make too much sense, especially somebody of the intellect of Lex Luthor. Somebody with his intellect should understand that just because something happened in your universe doesn't mean that it's destined to happen in every universe in the multiverse. But overall, guys, this was an action-packed episode. Quick recap, we had Jordan with his powers, Jonathan with some latent powers. We have Superman doing his thing to take care of Tag. Tag is back, takes Sarah captive. And then obviously we have Lex Luthor finally returning, and his suit is probably almost ready, and he'll be ready to fight Superman. So the episode actually ends with Jordan having another attack, another sound attack, and they're gonna need to get. It seems like in the preview for the next episode, they got him with a pair of Beats headphones or something. I guess that's how they're protecting his ears. I don't think that'll be enough. They'll probably have to get him some kind of super helmet, Justice League type helmet, something that will actually protect his ears, because it seems that if he hears sounds too loud, his laser vision goes off. Don't ask. Anyway, so let me know what you think of that. That's for the episode 7 that's coming out next week. I'm so glad Superman and Lois is back. It was a struggle. The Flash has been kind of hard to watch lately. Supergirl was, well, the last 2 episodes weren't too great. But in general, it had been the better show so far. But it's good to have Superman and Lois back. So let me know what you thought of the episode down in the comments below. Be sure to like the video if you're liking the video, and subscribe and click the bell. I already said subscribe, so you don't miss the episodes as we upload this, as well as The Flash, Supergirl, all these shows. And we're always taking suggestions down below, so be sure to hit us up with a suggestion on shows that you'd like to see us cover. If you're into tech and video games, Apple stuff, iPad Pro and stuff, I have my show, The Granted Geek Show, on our second channel, The La Quente Ledger. So be sure to check that out as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.